I'm going to explain how I was able to get this client a 200-point credit score increase on all three bureaus in 60 days. This one was actually 90 days. Why? 30-day prep, 60-day scores. What does that mean? Look at the very first thing at the top. Personal info disputes. And like I said, I'm going to explain how I did this and why it worked and why I did it. We're not going to go over all the parts because some of them are straightforward, like BBB complaints, AG complaints, CFPB complaints. The point is, the things that we are going to go over are very important. Personal info disputes can be done online. They can be done by mail. They can be done in, just a regular, simple letter like this. This is the type of letter that if you've been following my videos, you know that I write very simple, straight to the point. We're listing our names, addresses, whatever is inaccurate or you want them to remove. Use a simple letter like this. These are the names that are listed incorrectly. When I was fixing my credit, I had 28 addresses and I had to remove 26. The reason behind the personal info dispute is more important than how to dispute it. If you don't know, one of the ways that the credit bureaus will get rid of you quickly is by you submitting a dispute and them just verifying or doing a fake investigation just based off the fact that your account is attached to your personal information, right? When an account is added to your credit report, it's added with personal information like your name, your date of birth, your social, etc. With the negative ones, we need to remove that personal information that attaches you to the account and the geographical code that makes that happen. Sometimes you'll only need about 10 days, other times you'll need more than that, but we did just a 10-day real hard one and done shot at it. I also submitted a CFPB complaint. He never lived at XYZ, added some privacy specific laws to the CFPB complaint, sent a copy to the bureaus with my letters, and that was that. Create and utilize a violation log with all proof. This can be as simple as an Excel spreadsheet, Google Sheets. Don't make this difficult. You need to know what was the violation, when did it occur, how did it occur, what law was violated, and save your attachments. This is extremely important because once you've exhausted all your remedies, you will need to go to the CFPB with all your proof. Then you'll be able to utilize that process. If you don't have the proof, you won't be able to do that. And with this one, because we actually started with this before we went to the bureaus, it worked out a long time ago. I actually used to do the debt validation before doing anything else. It depends on the file. You have bureaus, creditors, collectors. It's not just one thing. So here's the only thing that you need to understand about the debt validation process. There's two laws. This is for collections outside the statute of limitations or only third party. If you have debt within the statute of limitations, don't do it. You may get sued. I mean, a company that's going to sue you is going to sue you anyways, but still. FCRA Section 623A3. We're not going to read this whole thing. Duty to provide notice of dispute. That's all we care about. This is the key for the collectors. It says FDCPA 8078, including the failure to communicate that a disputed debt is disputed. How do you use these? We have letters for this. When you dispute something, it needs to be marked as disputed within 30 days. If they don't, it's $1,000 per occurrence. You do have to sue them. You do have to win, but we don't do any of that stuff. We just dispute directly with the collector using letter 1. If it doesn't work, we have letter 2. If that doesn't work, we have letter 3. But letter 1 worked for this client. So we did personal information and data furnisher disputes. Now, I didn't dispute directly with their creditors for their charge-offs because a lot were within the statute of limitations. I don't want anybody to be sued. So those were handled bureaus only. Now, what made this work was number 1, personal information. Number 2, that I attacked the data furnishers first. And it also works that I use many things. Okay, that's going to be disputing all negatives in all three bureaus all at the same time using custom factual disputes, Metro 2 challenges. Middle of month violation attacks and all that. My letters are very simple. We have the formula, action, justifier, element, reason, outcome. An example of it right here where it says account number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, delete for violation. This account has been illegally re-aged from original date to the current date. That's how I write all of my disputes, telling them what I'm disputing, why I'm disputing it, and what I want them to do. We're doing all accounts disputed at the same time. All three bureaus disputed at the same time. And you can see the 19 steps to success. I use this every single time. Now, I know I told you about the formula I use, right? The Agero formula, action, justifier, element, reason, outcome. I'm telling them what I'm disputing, why I'm disputing it, and what I want them to do. If you actually want results, there's a very specific process. Blatant inaccuracies. date last paid, notice of dispute, status, update date. Depending on the data on your credit report, this can change. Payment history, first day of delinquency, comments such as the notice of dispute, monthly payment on a charge off, high balance is lower than the balance. Using the evolution line method, date last active. Date last active used to be my number one. You have all of these things to dispute, and these are just 19 of them. This is the hierarchy. There's a whole flow for medical collections using the debt validation method. Inquiries disputed with the data furnisher and online only for inquiries and personal information. Do not dispute regular accounts online. For inquiries, it's straightforward. With the bureaus, you are just saying, I did not give permission. It does not meet the permissible purpose for pulling my credit or reporting on my credit report. That is it. One dispute reason per account per letter. Medical accounts, they can all go out in the same letter regardless of quantity. And do not dispute less than 30 days between letters unless doing a violation attack. This goes for late payments, charge-offs, third-party collections, debt buyout collections, bankruptcy, judgments, tax liens, student loans, foreclosures, repossessions, any negative item that's on your credit report. You can use this process to be able to do this. So this brings me to the very last part. How were we able to get a high credit score so quickly? It was using a combination of everything that we went over the last however long we have been recording. Okay. So that was by doing everything all at the same time, all of our prep work with personal information and our collector disputes, and it was attacking the violations, and it was being very specific in what we wanted to do, mostly because of the personal information and the formula. Remove all those negative items except for just a handful.